He thought he could stop us. He thought he could stop our movement. He thought he could get us not to fulfill the call of God. He thought he would make it impossible for us to financially launch our church out. But I want all hell to know, listen, we have risen to the occasion, and we will not be disobedient to the heavenly calling. Come hell and high water, I want to say, Mama, we did it. I want to say, Papa, we did it. You started a legacy. You didn't know what you were starting, but it began with you, and it got a hold of us, and it didn't stop with us, but it was transferred into our children, into their children, and it will continue to go on. Why? Because my father-in-law was not disobedient to the heavenly calling. My mother-in-law, till the day she gave her last breath, was not, I say to you, was not disobedient to the heavenly calling. She breathed it, lived it, talked it, preached it, did it, acted upon it, went to Africa, went to wherever God would send her, went to the Philippines, and did all that God called her to. Why is that statement so profound? Because I believe that God calls all His people to do something for Him. You say, well, when do you get it? You get it right after you're saved. When you're in the middle of the fire. And when He's got your attention, you're in love with Him, willing to do anything for God. The Spirit of the Lord comes and gives you a glimpse of what you'll do and what you'll become in this Christian life. You see, that's a calling. That's a divine act of God given to you, giving you just a picture of what you'll do for Jesus. Oh, almost everybody receives it. But there are those who disobey it, who for whatever reasons under heaven have not followed through with it. But it's still there. They just don't talk about it anymore. They don't mention it no more. They don't even pray about it no more. They don't even share with others about it any longer. Why is that? Why do so many, and I say so many because in the era that we're living in, I come from a different era. You know the era I came from? Preachers and pastors were being raised up by the dozens. Men were willing to answer the call of God and not answer the secular call greater than they were everything else in life. It meant more to them when they heard a sermon about God's call, God's purpose, God's plan than some tickle-me kind of sermon that helps you to just get through this normal life. Somewhere along the line, they didn't lose it. You see, the gifts and callings of God are without repentance. You didn't lose it. You just chose to disobey it. That's the problem. Now, why is that? Why do people choose to disobey the call of God? There are three primary reasons why anybody abandons the call. Right? Our ministry is getting into a mode of launching again. We're trying to ignite this now generation to say, listen, we don't want you to be good preachers. We don't want you just to be godly men. We want you to get a hold of the vision that birthed our ministry and brought us some 30, 40, going on 50 years now. The very thing that has made us who we are and kept us in existence this long was not all the good people we had. It was men and women getting a hold of a divine call and purpose that God had something for their life other than just sitting in a church and occupying a seat. And so Pastor Sonny is trying to ignite us. No, not me. You. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm going to die doing it. And while you sit in your chair listening to me dying doing what I've been called to do, you'll do nothing. Why do they become disobedient to the call? First of all, because of the hardships of this calling. It's a very difficult thing. You think anything great costs you nothing? You think his call is cheap? You think his call is a dime a dozen and anybody can do it? If that were the case, they'd be lining up by the miles. But that's not the case. We've gone from lines and crowds and great lines wanting to be launched out to just a handful by well over 400 churches saying, we don't got nobody no more. And when they're asked why, their pastors say they couldn't handle it. It got too hard for them. They had to struggle a little too long. Well, I want you to know God brought us back to the old struggling days. That's why we're in a recession. He wants us to go back to our roots. You know what our roots are? Live by faith and trust me that I am God and I will supply all of your needs according to my riches. People think it's too hard. I don't want to get in ministry, Pastor. It's too hard. And you know, I'd accept that from somebody that never did anything. You know, a goody-goody. I can't accept that from some local. I can't accept that from some guy that's done 7, 10, 12 years of hard time. I can't accept that from some gang leader that knows what the smell of death is like and that is used to ordering young men's lives all around, saying, go ahead, go into that store and take their life out. Now they get saved. They come to Jesus and they fill our churches. And then the minute you start bringing them into ministry, you have to give them a good one. Oh, God. You don't know what a good one's like, but get around me long enough, you'll get one. Hey. I can dish them out. That's next. But now the complaint is it's too hard, Pastor. What's too hard? Was the streets too hard for you? Was your crack habit too hard for you? Was going days without talking to your wife too hard for you? Was neglecting your kids and leaving them to the CPS too hard for you? Was losing everything that you ever had too hard for you? And now you come to God and you have the audacity to say, it's too hard. Nothing great comes without a price. Don't ever expect God to use you greatly unless He first pierces you deeply. I agree. Breaks you down before He builds you up. It's too hard. How many people tell me that's too hard? I say, welcome to life. Life's hard.